Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. Well, May is just about over. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but yeah, most of the month of May is pretty much gone and it's time to get rid of the weeds. I was going to hold off on this a little bit longer today, but I just remembered the store closes at 4. So I had an hour to get down here and get the See and Spot weed sprayer. Going to be using the Landini for this. All the other tractors are back at the farm, and the Landini, I was just coming over from the greenhouses because I was giving them some water, and I'm like, well, you know what, the crops, they're in the first growth stage, so they'll be fine with wide tires. We're not going to damage them at all. Sprayers got to come in here and make sure I get this. Widest working width, yes please. Weed spot spraying, yes, make sure we get that. And then we want a lease for, it's expensive, but you know what, having weeds in the field will just bother me, so we're going to, you know, take care of that. I do believe I've only done one contract since last episode. Fertilizing contract in field number 49, I think it is. Actually, let's go to the map because I got to discuss another thing with you. What field number is it? Yeah, 49. This one's right here. I think it was like 23,000, 24,000 to fertilize that. So got that all fertilized and paid for it. All the grass is off the field, and that was put into the fermenting silo. About 260,000 liters is what we got, is normally what we get anyways. But while we're here, I did go on my test map. So I've been kind of wondering about this little thing right here. Where does this interact with, right? So on my test map, I found out it has to do with, let's go back to here. If I go to farmland, all this farmland here that we get for free. So there's a couple of lots of land here. I'm going to leave that actually activated because it'll be easier to see. So I only had that land there, and when I did soil sampling, I had to scroll in. Basically, we get a little bit of farmland up here with this free lot right here. So there's a little bit of farmland here that you'll own. And this only really matters if you're doing precision farming and if you want to get that score up a little bit. And the other one is like, where are we here? Okay, right over here. So another one will be, this is a free piece of land that you get when you buy that lot. You get a little bit of a farmland here, right here. So I thought, well, okay, I'll outsmart this. I went to landscaping, and I tried to paint the ground to get rid of the farmland, because if you get rid of the farmland on a lot, it'll get rid of the precision farming. You won't have anything to do with precision farming. It'll just be no score whatsoever. It doesn't matter. But we can't paint that far. So basically, if you really want to get your score up, you're either going to have to buy the fields, like I would have to buy field number 22, to try to incorporate that field with it and get that score up, and also field number, well, in here it's 36, but in my opinion, you got to buy 36 and 65 because these are the same fields. But yeah, that's where that is coming from. I'm not too worried about it, so yeah, it kind of sucks a little bit that it's bringing down our score a little bit, but that's not really why we're here. I just do precision farming once again, because I find it, I prefer that type of farming. You know, just drill the field once and you're done fertilizing it pretty much. Anyways, See and Spot weed spraying is what we're doing next year. We're going over to our new field of corn that we planted. Now, there will be no weeds in the field, but with precision farming, since I never had the field before, to get the score of weeds up to 100, I need to go in there and just spray for just a quick moment, and everyone will be happy. Now, this crop here, I don't want to drive into. I may actually have to drive in there a little bit. Wait, this should be fine. I drew this all on the same day. I shouldn't damage the crop, right? First growth stage, correct? Yeah. All right, we're all set. The crop just looked taller because it's corn. So basically what I'm talking about here, if I scroll on down the field, and we go to this chart right here, you can see a score of 62. Weeds is the third one down. You can see we're at 50%. So we just got to spray real quickly. And now precision farming is going to be happy. And look at that, the score went up to 77, and the third bar up to 100%. We are good. Kind of weird how the system works, but that's the way it is. Now, we do have to go take care of weeds in the other field, so let's go do that. Actually, there was a lot more herbicide in that pallet down at the store than I thought there was. So 600 liters should do us just fine. Been checking on the animals. The animals are looking good for another month, so we're all set there. I just fed the chickens. The pigs look like they're getting low on food, but they're technically not. A couple of the bars are in the red. But since their yearly food is like 70 some odd thousand, and currently I got like 35,000, technically I got enough food in there to last them another, I'm going to say 4 months. Because I think when the piglets get to be adults, they're going to eat a little bit more food. Grass field does need to be fertilized. I got to remember to do that at some point. But right now we're just scooching around this cornfield here. We don't have to worry about this field at all. Let's go to the trees. Actually, almost run into a tree. Here we go. A couple of these collectibles I may pick up once in a while now. Not for the money. And if I do pick them up, I'll do what I always do, which is delete the money back out of the account. It's just that sometimes I drive over them because they're around the field or just in the way. That's the only reason why I would get rid of them. Or pick them up, because I want to get rid of them. So this should be a relatively quick job. And then of course we'll return the See and Spot weed sprayer. And then we move on to the month of June, and I do believe the wheat field should be ready for harvest. I think I planted the wheat the first month that it was ready to be planted in. If I did, then the wheat would be ready next month. If not, well, then we'll have to wait until July. I'm kind of hoping that the wheat is ready, so it gives me something to do tomorrow other than looking for contracts. Right now, the contract here in American Falls is kind of, I don't want to say it's dead, but all the big contracts I'm looking for, the big fields, I think they're fully fertilized because they're not really popping up as much as they have been in the previous years, it seems like. Yeah, just here on American Falls, I do notice, I mentioned, I think last episode, the amount of fields that are sugarcane or sugarcane poplar. Good. There's a good amount of fields around there, and that's something you just don't normally see them being planted in, that type of crop. So we're going to have a lot of corn this upcoming season. And I'm still hoping to have enough money to buy the other field. Just need the contracts to come in. We just need the cash, right? That's all we really need. The good thing about the wheat harvest coming up, I don't need to lease anything. We got the harvester, the header, we got a grain trailer, and of course we even got the baler to make some straw bales. I don't have anything really to pick up the straw bales other than the pallet forks on the Vultra. I could go ahead and just move the bales. Selling them in June, not the greatest idea. So if I want to get work done in that field, I could go down with the Vultra and pick up the bales and move them around, and we can get in that field and get work done. I don't think I'll need to get work done, because if anything, what I would do with that field is I'm just going to have a rotation. It may sound kind of boring, of like a cereal crop so we can feed the birds and the pigs, and then the harvest after that, you know, switch back to corn. So harvest the wheat in that field next month or the month after, and then I don't have to really get back in that field until next spring when it comes time to plant the corn again. I really wish I kind of had one of these See and Spot weed sprayers by now, but we're slowly getting the ball rolling. We haven't hit the part on this Let's Play, and I've talked about this before in other series as well. If you kind of play the way I do, where you really want to start with $0 and work your way up, even if you borrow money then repay it back, you slowly got to build up that money, and it seems like you're always like waiting for more money to come in so you can progress and get there. And then it comes to a point on the farm to where you get actually enough equipment to run and do more stuff. You get enough land behind you, and all of a sudden it seems like a snap of a finger happens, and then it's like, oh, look at the amount of money we made this year. What do I need? It's like, well, I really don't I mean, I could use this, and you start buying things that you use, you know, every year that you were fine leasing before, but now the money is there, it's coming in, and it's like, okay, I can buy this now. It's not like I have to wait a year or two before I can buy that. It's like, okay, the money's coming in, I can buy that this year, no problem. I'm not really in a big rush to get certain things. We will get there at some point. We still got a $300,000 loan, which I want to nibble at this year at some point. But yeah, I definitely want to save up the $275,000 to get that field number 58, is it? Somewhere around there. And then pay a little bit off on the loan. The loan's not really bothering us money-wise that much. I think the loan interest is like $1,000 a month. So the greenhouses are covering that in some sense. Yeah, really this should be a job for the Vultra and the narrow tires. But since in Farming Simulator the crop is in the first growth stage, we'll go ahead and do it with the Landini. And then we'll just call it a month and move on. Get to harvesting some crops. Yeah, and currently so far this year is going to look a little bit like last year, where all the crops we harvest are just being saved for the animals, and that's about it. Even if I have an excess amount of corn, I mean, I could sell it when the corn price is good, whenever that is. But I don't really have anything to process the corn into something else. Not that we need to. Okay, so the only difficulty is I'm kind of having a hard time. Oh, I think I can see what the weeds kind of are. I guess this is about the only time maybe you want the weeds to hit the second stage, so they flower. You can actually see where the heck they are. But one more pass down, I think one more pass up, and we'll have it all taken care of. And we'll look at the chart and see what the chart says. Okay, so it was one more pass down, and then up, and then back down again. There's about maybe a 6 meter wide strip right here that we got to take care of. And so far we've used not that much. Wait, is it getting used at all? Oh, it is. Okay, it's like, is that moving at all? It was like stuck in time there for a second. I'm like, I don't think it's, maybe I wasn't going over any weeds currently. That's the good thing about a See and Spot weed spray. It only sprays where the weeds are. How it does it, I don't know. Whole bunch of technical stuff, I'm sure. Let's have a look here and see how we are with the weeds. Wait, wrong one. We need to be here and here. A tiny little spot here, and looks like, okay, I'll spray there. I mean, plowing. Well, I think it's going to be good enough. Let me go back to the farm. I'm going to try to unload this again and see if I can unload the herbicide, because the See and Spot weed sprayer needs to go back. I'm just having problems unloading herbicide in my equipment recently. I always like how I just crossed the road there. I just never look, just assume or hope no cars coming. Now the pigs are piling up that manure. Alright, we got plenty of room here. There's nothing around us. Okay, we'll try to unfold it, see if that makes a difference. And then someone said try putting it on the front and it'll unload. So we'll try doing that. This action cannot be performed here. Well, I have unloaded other things here before, like the spreader. I think early on when I had some lime into it, I did it. I can't do it that way either. We'll fold it on up and see if it'll let me do it then. Just trying to see if there's a special button on these things. Yeah, I don't know. Don't understand it, but okay. Not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to solve things here. Return that. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about the herbicide. It's gone forever. Let me go ahead and we'll park the Landini away. Actually, I should get the, is it a 1038? Yeah, 1038. I always want to say a 1050. Oh, and by the way, picking up the grass, I think I was mentioning last episode that I was probably going to run out of silage additive. Not only did I have enough to top this back off again, but there's plenty more there. So I'm not really sure. Not really sure how that's working on out there, but yeah, we got plenty more silage additive to go. All right, and let's put the 1038 over here. Part of me wants to get rid of those trees that are there, but I like the fact that they're there. Only the time I don't like them there is when I'm trying to back up into my sheds. That's the only time. Yes, we're all set. Yeah, let me just double check on the animals so I just make sure I didn't, because I screw up things a lot, let's be honest. Yeah, the sheep, they're fine. They should be. 22,000 liters yearly. They should be good overnight. The pigs, like I said, 78,000 liters per year. And right now we got 36,000 in there. And the chickens, they are looking good. I really need to stop looking at the store page. That'll get me into trouble at some point. And also, yeah, contracts. There's a couple fertilizing contracts up there, but I don't see double digits, so I'm not too interested into it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just go to bed. I'm going to speed up time and just double check the contracts before I go to bed. See if something does pop up, and if it does, then I'll grab it. Staying at fertilizing contracts. So we're sitting almost at 140,000. The money you see going up, that's from the greenhouses because we got it on sale directly. And we get about $2,500 on average. Of course, the price of lettuce, tomatoes, and I forgot the third crop that can be grown in there. Yeah, they get sold directly, and of course, the prices vary throughout the year. Let's go to bed, and we'll wake up at 6. Sun should be up because it was mostly up in the month of May. And we'll see if our wheat field is ready for harvest. So yeah, we made a little bit of money overnight, and that is with also, you're going to see the payments coming up. We sold some birds, of course. Yeah, the loan payment is $1,000. Property maintenance is $1,337, and $50 in production cost. Let's see, what do we got here? We do have a plowing contract. We'll accept that one. And fertilizing contract, field 30. That is pretty darn good. We'll accept that as well. So we'll bring in some cash. Please tell me my wheat field is ready for harvest. Well, that's the color we want to see, so that's perfect. But before I get down there and start harvesting, let me just double check on these contracts again. So plowing field 44. Where's 44? Oh, 44 is right out front. Perfect. Okay. And the fertilizing contract goes to field number 30. I think 30 is over. Yep. I'm starting to know where some of the fields are. I do enough contracts, you'll learn. Okay, let's jump into... I'm trying to grab... All right, so we'll grab the Voltra first. That should be enough fertile... Nah, you know what? I need more probably than that. I might be able to get away with it. I'm just... I mean, it's enough for the field for the contract, but I need to do the grass field that we own as well. that needs to be fertilized. So I might as well go ahead and top it off. All right, I'm going to go get these, waking up the Franks here. I don't know who's going to be taking over. But I'll get 2 contract workers going. Course plate workers going. 1 fertilizing, 1 plowing. And then we got to start bringing... I don't think all the wheat's going to fit to the combine. Combine does hold quite a bit. But I don't think it's going to hold it all. We'll just bring the combine down first. Yep, there's another field that just withered. Yeah, we'll bring the combine down first, and then when it comes time, we'll grab the 1038 and the trailer. Bring that down there and unload, and yeah, I think we'll probably get somewhere around 50,000 liters off that field. Fingers crossed. I could be in trouble here. Frank has taken over, and he's right up against the fence line. See how he does. Over here, I think, is it Francesca? No, it's Frank Jr. Okay. I saw the white shirt, and Francesca likes to wear the white shirt. But anyways, they're doing their stuff. Nope, that's the wrong button. We don't need that. We need the combine. How good of a shape is this in? Well, for starters, it's not too bad. Oh, someone just repaired their vehicle. One of the course plate workers repaired their vehicle. That's fine. I'm pretty sure it was the Landini. The Landini was getting kind of low on repair status. So let's grab our case combine with our New Holland header, because that's the combo you want to go with, especially when they come up for sale, and it saves you hundreds of thousands of dollars to do so. Beacons will turn on. And the corn, since the corn's not going to be ready until October, I'm not going to bother with the repair status on the harvester yet. Maybe when I go do the corn, we'll do that. Now the tricky part here on American Falls with a combine like this with the wide tires on the front and everything, it's going to be the oncoming traffic, but you can get by mostly. Right here it could be a little tricky because we got the fence line right next to the road. But we got the beacons on. Well, the beacons are on. Yeah, there are beacons in the front. I was ready to say there better be beacons in the front. Just got to turn left up here. And then head all the way down almost to the southern end of American Falls. You know where it is. And then, yeah, we're going to leave a straw swath because we do have our baler and we're going to make straw bales. Well, we made it down here, no fuss, no muss. Easy peasy, nice and easy. All those sayings. For those of you that are using the new straw DLC, yeah, from what I've been hearing about it, a lot of people are saying, yeah, you don't really need the haul anymore to make it into pallets because you can just drop them off and get the same price for them. It's not really worth it to have the buildings, but still, like the harvester itself, the baler is kind of on the expensive side. But then again, aren't most balers? I just always try to figure out, because I did use that in FS19. Yeah, you do make more money by putting like straw in the pellets, same with hay in the pellets. But the amount you're going to have to sell to get your money back on it, and of course it's going to be different depending on what economy you're running on. But since I always play on hard economy, it would take me forever to pay off the baler that I purchased for it, and then to actually make money on it. It'd take me years. It'd be something I'd probably have to buy year one and get right on it to get my money back on it. I mean, there are some things I do buy in my Let's Plays that I don't get my money back on. But sometimes you do it for fun. But the one thing I do remember about that baler that picks up the straw and hay off the ground and makes it into pellets, that is a slow process. I think the working speed is like 6 miles an hour, and it requires a good amount of horsepower. You're going to need a tractor with at least 400 horsepower, I think. Someone that is actually running the mod or using that equipment can probably tell you better numbers. I don't think I have it activated. Maybe I do have it activated on this series. I may have activated it just to see what the prices were. So this field's about as best shape as we can get it into before harvest. Oh, I'm running at times 6 the speed. Doesn't matter. Don't have that much work to do today other than harvest this field. Baling it, well, like I said, the other fields won't be ready until October. So I got July, August. I'm leaving September kind of open because I'm kind of hoping we'll have the field right across the road here added to our list of fields to take care of. I thought it was right across from us, and I got nervous here for a second. I looked to the right and I saw the gray. I thought the crops withered or something, but the field's actually that kind of angle over there. Almost done fertilizing field number 30. No surprise, it's not that big of a field, and with a 42 meter wide spreader, it's going to get the job done quickly. We'll just let Frank Jr. continue to do what he's doing. And we'll collect on those contracts. Maybe once we're done here. The plowing contract, we're going to have to finish up because that field has actually got 2 separate fields on it. So course play is only going to do the field that it's currently in. But it won't take us long to get the other side done. Yep, 75% in the combine at the end of the row. Yes, 75%. Perfect. Yeah, I was going to expand this field out a little bit further, but since there's a road here, I decided against that. Not that I have used it maybe twice. When I was doing contracts and I wanted to get across the railroad tracks. Honestly, most of the time I probably just come up and drive over the tracks and get over it. But a couple of times I have used the underpass, which is kind of like in front of us. The only time I know I don't want to use it is when I got the plow on the back of the Landini, because when the plow folds up, it will hit the overpass of the railroad track. I mean, you can still get through and fine and all, but just be aware of that. I'm actually going to turn off the header. And we'll spin this around. We need to unload because I'm not going to make it on another pass. Am I going to get 50,000 liters of wheat off this field? That'd be great if we did. But if we don't, well, yeah. What are you going to do? Nope. Got to be on that page there. Yeah, you're still plowing there. Yeah, field 44, you can see field here. And are you done with that contract? You were just about done. Yeah, you are done. We're going to collect on that. And let me go and stop him because we don't need him working anymore. Yeah, stop working. You're all set. Save ourselves on some fertilizer. All right, we need our trailer. And as I mentioned just previously, last winter, I had to rebuy the trailer because the trailer had an update. So I updated the trailer package, and when I logged into the game, my trailer was gone. So I had to rebuy it. I got fully refunded on it. So if the trailer looks different than the one we did have originally, that's the reason why I had to rebuy it. And of course, I had to choose the purple color. Didn't really save the exact color that we had using the color mod that we run. Beacons on. Let's go unload the combine and continue on harvesting. Now, as for the straw bales, yeah, we probably will just, I don't know, maybe I'll push them aside or something. I don't know. At some point, though, we will sell them. Just don't need them for anything. We do have a good stack for the pigs in the shed back at the farm. The sheep do take straw, but that animal pen, I cannot put down a manure storage for it yet. Maybe when the map gets updated, that'll get changed. The map is currently getting in the process of being updated. Nothing has been sent to Giants yet that I know about. But last I heard, Lancy Boy did show off some pictures of American Falls and some updates that he's doing to it. Yeah, if I remember correctly, he said he'll send the American Falls update to Giants once Stone Valley passes the console test, which the last time it didn't. About a week ago or so, that it kind of didn't pass. So be patient. There will be an update coming to American Falls. As for a new save like it was last time, I'm not too sure. I haven't heard nothing on that front. But anyways, yeah, I'm shooting for 50,000 liters. I think I'm going to get closer to 45. But we will find out in a few moments' time. Well, my numbers are way off for this field. I think where I'm getting probably confused, maybe what I got on it the first time we harvested this field with wheat in it. I think I can remember how many times I unloaded the combine, and I'm getting confused with this case combine to the one I had on Oceanside Forest. The one on Oceanside Forest, I think that was a 24,000 liter capacity, and I think this is closer to 12. Is it 12 or 13? So I was like, yeah, I unloaded the combine like 3 times, so 24,000 times 3, that should easily get us up to 50. It was like just like 2.5, which is what we're going to get here. Same 2.5 loads. Is this the capacity of the combine I got mixed up on? So I don't think I'm going to have much grain to bring over to the grain mill off this field. I'm going to need to keep it all for the pigs. And just keep in mind, the pig pen currently only has 6 adults in it and 49 piglets. And that pen will hold 200, so that number of feed that we're going to need for the pigs throughout the year is going to increase. Well, I'm glad we got the harvest done, because I did not know there was going to be rain in the forecast. I am liking this trailer. This trailer seems like it's going to be the right size for what we're doing here in American Falls. Frank did finish plowing his part of the field. Probably going to have to do a little bit of touch up there because of the sharp corners. He missed a couple. And I know there's special ways I can get around on how to do the corners and such. Well, I know there's a way to do it. I don't know how to do it. I've only just keep using course plate as is. You can do like smooth corners, sharp corners. I just leave the settings as they always have been, and I'm used to doing them. I don't mind going up and touching up on the workers after they get done, because they got most of the work done anyways. Let's have a look at this field over here. So this is the field I want to buy. Yeah, so you can't see how many times it's been fertilized. I'm trying to think, are those weeds, or is that the undergrowth like we had in our cornfields the year before? Well, it's not going to matter. By the time, and if I can afford that field, when it comes time for harvesting, I'm going to have just enough time to get in there with the Vultra with narrow tires on it. Soil sample, get the lime down, and get fertilizer down if it needs it. If there's weeds in it, there's weeds in it. But the whole point is just get another field. Oh yeah, so we ended up with just shy of 35,000. So not that bad. I was expecting 45. I shot for 50. Was my guess. And we ended up with 35. Let's go put this all into the silo. Grab the Landini. We'll finish up this plowing contract. We'll collect on that. Then we'll grab the Vultra and head over to the grass field and quickly fertilize that field so it's good to go. Would that be next month already? That could be next month. I forgot when I mow the grass now. Skipping through the months like I am. Yeah, I think that'll be next month. Back to cutting grass again. Yeah, I think the next equipment we'll buy for the farm might be the mowers. Just because I got to use them 3 times a year. And this will give us how much wheat do we have in storage now? How much wheat do we have? Currently almost 90,000 liters of wheat. I'm trying to figure out if I want to bring any to the mill or not. I think we'll hold off on that. We're already up to 113,000 liters of silage. That's still being processed, of course. So we're all set there. Let me go ahead and turn the beacons off. All right, let's go grab the Landini. And I want to finish that job up so we can get paid on that. I'll come over here and get the scraps if I need to. Let's just head over to the other side and get that all taken care of. It shouldn't take us too long with this plow. Get more money back into the bank account. Yeah, it seems like even though we're doing contracts and getting paid for it, but repairing equipment, buying fertilizer, keeps bringing us back down to where it seems like we're slowly gaining. But the thing is, we are slowly gaining. And eventually, I do hope that once we get a full pig pen, and the pigs start maturing and we sell them when they're at a good price, we'll start really bringing it. Well, when I say really start bringing the money, well enough that we can start seeing a profit from them. But the amount of manure they're producing, I don't know how much that manure pit, I guess I'll call it a pit, can hold. Because I would like to buy the BGA. I think the BGA is rather cheap. If we can't afford the cornfield that we just looked at by the time it's ready for harvest, possibly I'll buy the BGA because that is 60,000. Am I correct on that? 60,000. Let's just scooch over here quickly. Farmland. 130,000. Why did I think it was 60,000? I have no idea. 130,000, which we can afford right now. That way I can put my silage in there and get that processed over. We'll get methane and electricity, and I'll make more money than just selling silage straight up throughout the winter. And plus, I should be able to, I don't have to store the silage. I can just bring it over any time. And the electricity, I do believe, in Farming Simulator, the electricity price I assume stays the same because we don't see it on the market as the price will fluctuate. So I'm just guessing it's a flat rate. And as for methane, well, of course, I really haven't looked at that BGA to, figure out what it does produce. BGAs can vary in that sense. But I'm going to assume electricity, of course, methane, and then digestate. Those are the basics, mostly. And I think the tankers that I usually use, those will take methane, I think. So if I have to transport methane, I could sell it somewhere, if there's a place to sell methane. But I'll worry about that when we get to it. Oh yeah, we can also bring the slurry from the pigs over as well to be processed. So manure, slurry, and silage over to the BGA. And then I think I'll be done mostly with production buildings on this map. We'll just have the BGA and the grain mill. And originally I wasn't going to go with a grain mill, but in the early ons, we had a contract that needed to be delivered to the grain mill. And then I found out you can't deliver to the grain mill unless you own it. Hopefully in a couple more passes here we'll be done shortly. And we can go fertilize our grass field. And that is the contract completed. I'm actually just going to park it right here. I'll take care of it later on. Let's go down and collect on that. 6,000. Oh, we got some more fertilizing contracts, and those are good ones. 16,000. Yes, please. 21,000. Yes, please. And since we're on a roll, I'll take all three. Because I want the money to be coming in. All right. Where are we at? So field number 2 will need to be done. Of course. Let's just grab this, though. And instead of driving over the railroad tracks, we'll actually use the underpass by the field that we just harvested. Come on, Voltra, get up the hill. Get up that hill. You can do it. There you go. And the underpass. Now we can just shoot straight across because, well, we got the straw swaths here. Check for traffic. And we'll zoom on out here. And this field does get a little bit messy when it comes to fertilizing because we leave little strips here and there trying to get it all. So the wheat harvest is done. Now we just got 3 fields of corn currently, maybe 4 by the time we get to October. Time will tell. But now some of the fertilizing contracts looks like they're coming in, which is nice. I did not add up that total, but I'm guessing there was somewhere around $40,000 worth of fertilizing contracts there. But take out 10,000 because that's probably how much material I will use. So a net gain of about 30,000 is what we'll get. So that should put us somewhere around 170,000 by the time I see you next episode. And then after that, we just need another 100,000 to get that cornfield. But the good news is harvest season has begun, so I might get more plowing contracts coming up. And of course, after we get the fields plowed, we do have our own drill, of course, and maybe they want some fields drilled, which we could do. I'll be taking a lot of contracts just to try to get that field. As I mentioned, this series is turning out a lot like East Vineland was. I thought, just like on East Vineland, okay, we're just going to do a few contracts at the beginning of the Let's Play, and before you know it, we can just focus on our own fields. And here we are doing the same thing where we're years in, and I got to keep doing contracts to bring the money in. The one thing that helped us out quite a bit on East Vineland was I had the mod to where you can get the straw on the contracts, meaning if I did a cereal crop harvesting contract, I could collect the straw off the field. And you may be saying, well, straw is not worth that much, but the fields out on East Vineland were, you know, they were like field number 2 that you just saw here, and we were getting maybe $10,000, $12,000 worth of straw off the field every harvest. And we did a lot of silage contracts on that map as well. Actually, if I just go this way and leave it on widespread, I'll get most of it. There we go. Grass field is done. But it's got more work to do. Yeah, the silage additive, I thought I was getting low on it. So, I mean, does that say silage additive 1 liter? So I thought it was at 7. So now it's down to 1. Maybe there is, maybe, I don't know. But there it is. That's the original pallet that we had. So our grass field, yeah, our grass field says ready for harvest. So in the month of July, we'll be back to cutting the grass again, even though we just did it. But that's the way grass work goes, doesn't it? And that just helped us pay off. Well, it's paid for itself with the silage we gotten off the field. So yeah, the BGA, I can't really click on it and see what it allows us to do. I don't know the production of this BGA. I'll have to jump back on to the test map. I think I've looked at it once before, but I kind of forgot by now. Because since then I've done the Hills of Tuscany, seeing what that map does. So I kind of forgot what this BGA up here does. But yeah, this is another thing that we possibly could be buying this year. If we can't afford field number, well, it says field number 36, but I think it's lot 58. Hey, yeah, I do remember that. So yeah, we got this cornfield here, this cornfield here, and this one here. This will be corn probably next year, so that can sit there until next season. Unless I need... Do I need soil sampling? No, I don't. It's not out of data yet. Interesting. Thought would have been enough yields by now. Yeah, and don't worry about the nitrogen level. It may not look good here, but if you look on the field, bottom right-hand corner, nitrogen level is perfect for grass. Don't need a whole lot. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.